Done.
Let me love boy, I just know. Rufus boy, let me love me. Caught up in my tape. Caught up in my tape. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, hi, welcome. My name is Nina and I'm so glad you clicked this video. So today I'm going to be talking about my first vegan Thanksgiving experience, and also I hope this video gives you some ideas on what to cook for the holidays if you are wanting to try plant-based recipes. So for this Thanksgiving I did a lot of different recipes that I found on different blogs and YouTube videos. So I will have every recipe that I use linked down below in the description box, and I will also have them on my blog, NaturallyNina.net, so you can get all the recipes from there. So obviously I am obsessed with food. I'm a huge foodie, so I really did enjoy looking through Pinterest and finding different recipes. And since this was my first Thanksgiving as a vegan, I knew I had to search extra hard to look for different recipes that I knew I would enjoy. So this was definitely my first Thanksgiving where I was like really in the kitchen cooking for like 2 days. I usually make like a side dish or two for Thanksgivings in the past, but this was the first time I made a full course meal, from appetizers to dessert. And this was because obviously, one, I wanted to still have that full Thanksgiving experience and having a lot of food and a lot of different options. And secondly, there were just so many recipes that I found that I wanted to try, to the point where I didn't even get to try all of them. So there was a lot of cooking and a lot of prep involved, starting with grocery shopping. I went to, I think, 3 different grocery stores, Whole Foods, then I went to Trader Joe's for a few things, and Sprouts for majority of my produce. I live close to a Sprouts and they have the best produce. So I did all of my shopping, and then for a day or so I prepped and then started cooking everything. I wanted to have everything pretty much ready and really just enjoy my Thanksgiving and not really stress too much on the cooking aspect of it, and just enjoy time with my family and just kind of hang out. So yeah, that's what I did. So I really wanted to touch on a few ingredients that I feel just save me when you talk about plant-based cooking, especially for the holidays when you are wanting a lot of savory and rich meals. I found some ingredients that saved me the most were cashews, nutritional yeast, and non-dairy milk. So for cashews, I have to talk to you about cashews. So the different ways you can use cashews just blows my mind. For one way you can use them is to make cashew cheese, and this has been a lifesaver because we all know dairy is very hard to completely give up, and cheese taste is amazing. So making cashew cheese with lots of nutritional yeast and different herbs and spices has changed the game for vegans and being able to enjoy the experience of having cheese. So for appetizers, I made 2 cheese balls. One was a jalapeno cheddar cheese, and the other was a pistachio crusted cashew cheese balls. And I just had that with crackers and apples and some fig, and I got a lot of great response from the cashew cheese, so it was cute just to have like a little appetizer there. And another great way to use raw cashews is blend it up with non-dairy milk and water, and it makes this very creamy blend. And anytime that I want to add something creamy to a dish, I use blended cashews. So for example, I made a green bean casserole, and traditional green bean casserole obviously calls for cream and mushroom soup. So I just made that from scratch. I sauteed a bunch of mushrooms and I added that cashew cream sauce and lots of different herbs and spices. It was amazing. And the texture, it was so creamy and rich, and I baked it with the green beans, and I made fried onion strings to put on top. I just chopped up some yellow onions, and I soaked the fresh onions in that for about 20 minutes, and then I put it in some rice flour, and then I put it in a cast iron skillet with some oil to fry it, and I put that on top of the green beans. So the green bean casserole tastes like a traditional, very rich and full of flavors. So I really enjoyed that. So cashews, cashews, cashews. And also I recommend soaking them overnight so they are a lot softer and easier to blend up. So another side dish I made were Brussels sprouts. And this was the dish I was actually asked to bring for my entire family. So I knew this was a great opportunity to bring a plant-based recipe for my family to try and really make it special. So I was brainstorming and I was thinking about all the times I had great Brussels sprouts in the past, and a lot of the times that I thought of had to do when there was bacon in them. So from there I just did a traditional balsamic glaze for the Brussels sprouts, and I added pomegranates and red onions, and then I also added some coconut bacon bake-on. I know you're like, okay Nina, what is that? So I have made this kind of smoky bacon-like marinade before, and one day I was watching my favorite bloggers, Hot for Food, and they used the marinade with unsweetened coconut flakes. So all I did was make that marinade, which calls for liquid smoke, which is key if you are wanting that smoky flavor, and some cayenne pepper, some tamari or liquid aminos or any type of soy sauce, and maple syrup. So you just mix all of that up, and then I soak the unsweetened coconut flakes in that. So after that, you have to be really careful. I bake them in the oven, and so you bake it for about 20 minutes, but you have to stir it every 5 minutes. So the first time I attempted to make them was a complete fail, like they were so burnt. But I didn't give up. I made them again, and they turned out perfect. My mind was blown, and this was one of the things my family was impressed with the most, as was I, just because it was full of flavor, it was smoky, it was crunchy, and you did not taste the coconut flavor at all. So I put those in the Brussels sprouts also. And I also put them in a mason jar container, and I took those with me to where we had our Thanksgiving dinner, and I had people in my family try, and they were all like, oh my gosh, this tastes amazing. This is coconut flakes. Like, you could not believe that they were coconut flakes. So the Brussels sprouts was definitely a favorite dish of mine and my family. Okay, so getting into the main dishes, I did two. So I bought a Guardian holiday roast, which I bought as a backup just in case what I really want to make for my main dish was a complete fail. So I just made that, and it was super easy to bake. I put it in a pan with roasted potatoes and onions and carrots and lots of fresh rosemary and thyme. So that was one of the roasts that I did, which I wasn't expecting anyone else to try, but a few of my family members did try and they did like it. So it was good, especially with some gravy on it. So if you are looking for a vegetarian roast to buy, Guardian definitely has the best one on the market, because I know there are a ton right now, but I would have to say their holiday roast is the best. And I've read a lot of different blogs that agree. So my other main dish was a recipe that I got from Hot for Food blog, and seriously, please check them out. They have made my vegan journey so much more enjoyable and memorable with the recipes that they create. So Hot for Food, they called this a vegan roast beast, which I thought was so funny and cute, and it's basically all of the amazing flavors of Thanksgiving in one bite. So it was a puff pastry that had 3 layers, and the bottom layer was a sweet potato mash, the second layer was a mushroom and lentil very meaty like layer, and the top layer was a cranberry applesauce. So you made all of the layers and you put it inside of a puff pastry. And I believe this was the second most popular dish that my family enjoyed with the Brussels sprout, and this is just me saying from what they were talking about the most, but it was completely gone. Like, there were no leftovers, which I wanted some leftovers, but it did make me happy that everyone else enjoyed it. And this was something that I was very proud of myself after making, because it was kind of difficult just with the different layers and the pastry, but it was so good. So if you want a challenge and you're really into cooking, definitely recommend trying the vegan roast beast. And lastly, for dessert, I did a sweet potato pie. And this is one of the things that holds the most type of feelings of having tradition on Thanksgiving. And for me, anytime I think of Thanksgiving, I think of my Auntie Retta's sweet potato pie. It is iconic. So when I talked to her, telling her that I wanted to try to recreate it, or not even, it's impossible to recreate. No one can top her sweet potato pie, but attempt a plant-based version of sweet potato pie. She helped me and shared with me the ingredients that she uses, and I just substituted like the regular butter with Earth Balance vegan butter, and I did the egg substitute. You can buy like a baking egg substitute. I got in Whole Foods in the baking aisle, or you can use like a flax egg or a chia seed egg or something like that. And I also used some sweetened condensed coconut milk, which was so sweet, and the filling was really great. I didn't bake the pie on Thanksgiving Day, and I was just so exhausted from cooking. I didn't even get around to baking it, but I did bring the filling to, just because I wanted my aunt to try it, and got some great feedback from her. She thought it was really good. So yeah, I didn't even have dessert on Thanksgiving Day. The next morning is when I made the sweet potato pie, and I noticed that I didn't use enough of the egg substitute. I think I maybe put the equivalent of like 1 to 2 eggs in it, which I probably needed like 3 or 4 for it to really come together. So when I baked it, I mean, it tastes amazing. The actual filling was great, but it didn't really come together like I wanted to. But we still all ate it. I had it with some coffee the next morning, and it was super sweet and super good. And that was my first vegan Thanksgiving experience. So I really hope you enjoyed hearing about my experience, and if this inspired you in any way to try some plant-based recipes during the holidays, definitely let me know, because it definitely inspires me to just continue with this lifestyle and share with you my experiences, especially when I get all the positive feedback that I have been getting. And if anyone from my family is watching this video, which I hope you are, I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for the constant love and support that you have given me, and just trying all the food that I make and just taking genuine interest in it. I know that I am extremely lucky to have such support from my friends and family, because I know that is not the case for some people out there, and I am just extremely grateful for that. So thank you so much for watching this video. Definitely check out my last video I posted. It was a what I eat in a day video, so you can get some more recipe ideas. Okay, so I will see you all this weekend. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.